Out of nowhere, a woman lunged at a man on a bike, shoving something into his back. He froze. It felt like a gun. She ordered him to drive. He didn't hesitate. When they arrived at a random location, she jumped off and took off running. That's when he noticed something strange. She wasn't just any woman. She was a prisoner, an escaped one. But what she didn't know? He was a cop. Without wasting a second, he followed her. She sprinted toward a house, climbed the fence with practiced ease, and disappeared inside. From a distance, she locked eyes on her target, a man holding a baby. Deep in conversation with another woman, rage flickered in her eyes. The door was locked, but luckily, she found an open side entrance. Just as she reached for it, strong hands grabbed her from behind. The cop! He dragged her away, while she twisted, breathless, pleading for just one chance to explain. Whatever was happening inside that house, she had to stop it. But he wasn't interested. He didn't buy it. So she did the only thing she could. A sharp stomp to his foot, a swift move. His phone was in her hands, and she was gone. Once inside, she locked the door behind her, hit record, and dropped the phone on the floor. Then she crept behind the man, using the same trick she had on the officer. He froze. He thought it was a gun. Terrified, he blurted out everything. The baby was hers. He had set her up, sent her to prison, and planned to sell the child for a hefty sum. Before she could react, the officer burst in. The man's demeanor shifted instantly. He painted her as the villain, claimed she was there to rob them and kidnap the baby. The officer, fed up, arrested her on the spot. But as they stepped outside, he realized something. His phone was gone. She smirked, told him exactly where to find it. Back inside, he picked it up and saw the recording, every word, every confession. The truth was crystal clear. Without wasting a second, they chased after the real criminals. They reached them just as they were about to escape in a car. But the moment the man and woman spotted the officer, they bolted straight into the woods. The officer and the prisoner, now an unlikely team, charged after them. Then a trick. The man approached, holding what looked like the baby, pretending to surrender. Meanwhile, the woman tried to slip away with the real child. But the escaped prisoner, the real mother, was faster. She caught the woman, making sure she wasn't going anywhere. And when the man thought he had an opening to attack the officer, one swift dodge, a firm takedown, game over, the criminals were arrested. The baby was safe, and the mother, she finally had her child back. If you'd go any length to save a child, subscribe.